gosh, I'm already recording. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, my room looks so messy. Let's just crop this a little bit. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming another study tips video. If you guys are new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Wong. I do law school videos. I do videos on beauty, fashion, whatever, vlogs. Just honestly, it's just like anything I feel like filming, I post. So for this episode or whatever, I'm going to be teaching you guys, well, not teaching, I guess just sharing some of the ways I memorize things for exams, for closed book exams. And yeah, let me just readjust. Okay, I feel like that's a little bit more comfortable experience. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the ways that I memorize things for law school exams, and mostly this is based on closed book exams. And yeah, I have a few random tips and tricks that I like to use in order to memorize things, and if you guys are similar learners than me, then you guys would probably benefit from my input and on how I do these things. So the first way I memorize is, I guess let's do this by categories. So I'm just gonna say the thing that we need to memorize and then the way that I would memorize it. So yeah, that's a better way of organizing my thoughts. So okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna say is how to memorize definitions. And the way I memorize definitions is really strange. Well, not really strange, but it's a little bit unconventional. It's not really a sit down type of activity. But anyways, for law school exams, you always need to know, sorry, my phone is going crazy. For law school exams, you always need to know the rule for a lot of different types of issues. So most of the time you can just put your own words and describe the issue, but a lot of the other times it's better to memorize the definition verbatim, because you need specific words and keywords, and just the way you structure it is the way you would get the point, basically, or a better way of getting the point without confusing your professor or having a mess of a paragraph. It just helps with structure. So the way I memorize rules is I type a script, and I mentioned this in one of my old videos for memorization techniques, and basically what I do is I type out how it looks like in the textbook or outline, how the definition is supposed to look, and basically I just memorize it like a script. So I would do this verbally, and what I would do is basically I would take the first line, repeat it, look at it, read it out loud, repeat it to myself a few times, then look away, read it a few times, go back, look at the second line, keep doing it until I memorize the entire paragraph. So for example, one of those specific issues that I needed to identify, and a rule that I needed to memorize, rule as in the script, the paragraph that I needed to memorize in order to get as many points as necessary is, let's just do an example from let's do evidence. So Fourth Amendment. So for example, for Fourth Amendment, I would read the first sentence over and over again until I got the first section of that paragraph of that script memorized. The first one would be like, the Fourth Amendment applicable to the state by the 14th Amendment. And I would keep repeating that same line out loud over and over again. The Fourth Amendment applicable to the state by the 14th Amendment. And then after I do that, I would pick up my piece of paper, read the second, or your laptop, depending on where you have the definition. And then I would read the second one over and over again, which would be in order, prohibits unlawful search and seizures. Prohibits unlawful search and seizures. And then I would connect both the first sentence and the second sentence. So I would be like, the Fourth Amendment applicable to the state by the 14th Amendment prohibits unlawful search and seizures. The Fourth Amendment, and then continue with the long sentence. Then I would go into the third sentence, and then connect, keep repeating keep repeating the third sentence until I have the third sentence down. Then I would chain it all together, and then the third sentence I think was, in order to bring a suit under the Fourth Amendment, the plaintiff must show. In order to bring a suit under the Fourth Amendment, the plaintiff must show. And then finally the last sentence, the fourth sentence, would be like government conduct and standing. So then you just keep repeating it until, well, this is what I do. I just keep repeating it until I know the whole thing. So by the time I'm on the exam, I identify the issues in the problem. It's asking for Fourth Amendment. So the first thing you want to slap down is, well, you say Fourth Amendment, and then you say this whole paragraph that you memorized. So I would just be on autopilot. I would just look at the problem and be like, okay, Fourth Amendment, let's just slap down the rule real quick, real fast. The Fourth Amendment, applicable to the states by the 14th Amendment, prohibits unlawful search and seizures. In order to bring a suit under the Fourth Amendment, the plaintiff must prove government conduct and standing. So yeah, that's basically it. And then I would continue to memorize the second half of that paragraph or script, and then the second half of that script would go into the two elements which I identified in the first rule, which was government conduct and standing. So then I would go into government conduct, and then again I would verbalize the rule in my head over and over again. Standing, I would just be like, person has standing if they can prove they had an expectation of privacy or whatever. So then that's kind of how I would memorize rules and stuff, and I would do it verbally and read it out loud until I have both muscle memory from the way I say it out loud, like in my mouth. So I would kind of be like mouthing it when I'm in the exam, and I would have a visual sort of recall, because I would practice typing it out on a blank Word document, and I would also hear it. So it was all three learning formations, which is like auditory, visual, and kinetic, or whatever it's called. I would incorporate all three into learning a rules and issues that you need to know in order to get the points. And yeah, that's basically the easiest way to memorize, honestly. If you've never tried it before, it sounds like it's really hard, and it sounds like you won't be able to get it, but actually it's not hard at all. It's the easiest way to memorize things. It's better than writing out over and over again, because when you're writing out, all you're doing is visual looking and kinetic. But if you're missing the say it out loud type and the memorization part, which is trying to force yourself to recall something immediately after you've looked at it, if that makes any sense. So that's the best way I memorize things that need to be verbatim, exact, in that sort of similar way. So that's my first tip, I guess, memorization technique. Okay, number 2 is for lists of things. Sometimes it's really hard to memorize a long paragraph as the one that I just recited to you guys. So one of the ones that I struggled with was just because you needed every single little element and you couldn't substitute words. It was more an elemental type of definition rather than a descriptive definition, which was more like the the Fourth Amendment paragraph, where there were only 2 elements within the paragraph, which was government conduct and standing. So for another one that has a lot of sub elements that you really need to have, and if you miss one you lose a point, is for example, let's say if you guys took business associations or whatever, duty of care, there's a lot of sub elements that you need to establish in order to prove that a director in a corporation had sufficient duty of care or didn't breach their fiduciary duty of having conducted business with duty of care. So a way I did that was, I think I need a piece of paper. Okay, let me just write it out real quick. The full point of is I just write out something like this. It is bright as hell. Okay, something like this, and duty of care, and then I have these random letters, and what I do is I memorize these letters. These letters are the first letters of every single element that needs to be discussed, and I just memorize these, and then when I'm reading through my long outline, because I have that in my subconscious, like whatever, studying memory, these kind of trigger what the elements are supposed to be. So you guys might be thinking I have like a sentence or something for this, but actually I do not have a sentence. I just remember GOB, G-O-B, and then DM, and then I just remember it's like D's, and then in between there's like a sandwich between the D's. There's like a B, and then I just remember M, D, W, and W because it's at the end of the alphabet. Whatever. There's like a real weird method to my madness. It works for me to recall, but if you guys want, you guys can make up a little sentence or something, but I just can memorize visually, because I am a mix of different learning types, I can just visualize this, kind of like a photographic memory almost, but not exactly a photographic memory. I can just see this list. So for me, when I see duty of care as a question on an exam, I just draw this little chart and then I try to recall what the elements are. So G would be like good faith. O for me would be ordinary prudent person. B would be best interest. D, M would be duty to manage. B is the business judgment rule. You can put BJR if it's easier to remember. Business judgment rule. D is duty to disclose, and DW was doctrine of wastes. So that's how I kind of memorized long paragraphs. Not long paragraphs, but like a definition that requires these specific sub-elements. I would do this little lettering thing. I don't know if anybody else does that, but that's just what I do, and it really works for me. And yeah, I do the same for a lot of different topics, not just like business organizations, but for any other different ones. Again, the same thing for common law. If I needed to remember the strict scrutiny or intermediate scrutiny, so for like strict scrutiny, I'd put like S, N, C, because strict scrutiny, first of all, SS, and then NC is necessary in achieving a compelling, with the C, compelling government interest, actual government interest. So that's how I memorize that kind of definition. So for definitions, I always find the keywords, the first letter of the keywords, in order to recall what must be stated in order to get those points, if that makes any sense. Hope you guys can understand and catch along with my kind of rambly stream of consciousness type of thing. Okay, I want to show you guys my notebook real quick. There's the same thing as what I just previously explained with the duty of care thing, like the GOB, DD or DM, BJR, DD, DW. I do the same thing on a piece of paper, and I keep writing it out loud writing it out. I keep writing it down until I can like kind of visualize it. So when I'm on the exam, I can see it. And so here I did the same thing for torts. If you guys can see, I did the same thing for torts, for the elements. As you can see here, I have like M, F, and like all these letters in order for me to remember the key the sub-elements within each subtopic that I need to analyze and go into. So that's just like a nice little visual you guys can see. Okay. So finally, ooh, there's like lots of white contrast. Okay, so finally a weird thing that, let me see, really useful, which I've been doing for the longest time to remember definitions, is sometimes they have this whack-ass word that I have no idea like how to remember. And one of these words, for example, that I could not for the life of me remember the second part of this word, was in the topic of wills. And in wills, there's something called ademption by extinction. For some reason, I would always remember that hard, like typical hard word, ademption. It's not actually a hard word, but like I feel like most people would find ademption the hard part of the word to remember. But for me, ademption by extinction, I just could not for the life of me remember extinction. I would remember it's like that word that starts with the E, but I could not for the life of me remember the full issue, which was ademption by extinction. So for the exam, in order for me to get this into my head so I can get those points, this is what I did. This is how my notebook looks like. I drew a little dinosaur because for some curious reason I remember this instead of the actual word. And the reason why I drew a dinosaur is because dinosaurs are extinct. And whenever I was trying to think of what ademption by extinction was, I would just recall the dinosaurs, like, oh right, they're extinct. Just like how in wills, when a gift is extinct by changing its form or whatever, you have ademption by extinction. So I just got my nails done. That's why I'm talking a lot with my hands. I don't know if you guys noticed. I'm a fool. Okay, so that's that. That's how I memorize that kind of stuff. I did the same thing for one of my exams for nuisance. I couldn't remember what the key word in nuisance was, like invasion. sorry, my camera cut off, but invasion into property, and I could not for the life of me remember invasion, so I drew a little UFO spaceship because I was thinking of like aliens invading and then like invasion. So yeah, I don't know, that's how I do like weird word association types of things in order to remember the exact word that you need, because a lot of the times you actually need the exact definition and the exact words, legal terminology in order to get the points, or you will get no points or half points even though you do your analysis right, because this is all about like issue spotting and getting what needs to be stated or showing the professor you know what you're talking about and not just like saying that thing about the thing, you know what I mean? I don't know. So yeah, that's that. Let me think of another thing. I had something else to say about memorization, but I can't recall it right now what another tip is. I just remember like another random thing that I do is this is only for people who have a lot of time on their hands. So basically another random thing that I do is I download this app on my laptop, and it's called I think it's called like iRecord or something, iRecord Lite or something, I don't know. But basically what it does is it just like allows you to record things. So what I do, I don't record lectures or whatever because that's like long as hell and you will never have time to go back and listen to it all over again. So another thing that I like to do is I record myself reading out my outlines, and whenever you're feeling like tired AF or like just defeated and you don't want to study but you have to study because you're in law school and you always have to study no matter what I would do, I would just like convert it into an MP3 and listen to myself speak my long outline to me into my ears via iTunes. So yeah, that's just like another random thing that I do that kind of helps. Yeah, I don't know, it's like a nice alternative, and if you're an auditory learner, it's really good. You will like recall things really well, but even if you don't, I feel like subconsciously you would absorb the information if you're like walking to and from lectures and you're just like listening to yourself tell you about torts. You don't have to read exactly what's on the outline. You can make it funny, you can make it engaging depending on how creative you are as a speaker, and that kind of helps too. You can crack jokes, whatever, it's all up to you. It's your realm. You can basically do whatever you want. I mean, like, studying doesn't have to be the same as the olden days where you have like parchment and like a friggin' quill and you're just sitting at the library trying to copy shit. It can be so different now with technology. You can do that. Another thing is there's lots of online free apps on creating your own flashcards. I'll link some down below. If you're a flashcard person, you don't even have to physically write, like go buy cards and write flashcards anymore, because you can just go online on a website. I forgot what it was called, but there was like one, like I'm not gonna even try, but there's one that I used, which was an online, like you use it on your laptop on their Internet Explorer. You enter in all your flashcards and definitions, and then you save your list, and then you can download the app, and then you'll have all your flashcards on your cute phone, and then you can just go through it on the go. So these are personalized flashcards that you can make rather than going out and buying someone's pre-made law flashcards, which may not have the same keywords that you have in your definitions and may not be as easy to understand as something you make yourself. And plus, when you're making the flashcard, that doubles up as studying, so like it's like double whammy type of thing when you like review and when you like create the flashcards. Yeah, I think that's it. That's the end of this video for memorization techniques. If you guys liked this video, please give me a thumbs up so I just know people are watching and people enjoy this. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the down bar. I'll probably, whenever I have multiple questions and the same thing, I just film a video like this because a few people requested a memorization technique video, and a lot of the comments got a lot of likes, so it just cues to me that you guys want something like this answered in a video. And yeah, so remember to subscribe if you guys want more videos from this law school playlist, and if you guys want instant notifications for whenever I post any videos on my channel, you guys can click the little bell that's beside the subscribe button, And basically anytime I upload any videos, it could be like beauty, like a vlog or whatever, you'll get a notification. You can ignore it if you don't want to watch that kind of video on my channel, but if you see like another law school playlist one pop up, you can just click into it and watch it. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learn some new tips and tricks on how I don't know, you can adapt what I told you to your own style of learning. And yeah, that's basically the end of this video. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.